What do you think started this addiction for me, Yoshi? We've done 30 counseling sessions already. What have you discovered?
I think it started because of the sex, drugs, and rock and roll that we read about in the book of Genesis. That everybody involved with love apples, they killed each other, they destroyed villages, they pillaged civilizations. I think that's what triggered you because of the Call of Duty generation gene that I like to call it. Because now I can't coin terms because our generation was raised on war games. So if we read war games, we like them instantly.
Right.
And the love apples were the catalyst for those war scenarios. So I think that's what triggered you.
Dude, this guy went to Harvard, bro. That's crazy. I would have never thought of that. And it goes both ways, guys. Look, sometimes things happen, and I'm a believer that not everything is Satan's fault.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we put ourselves in terrible situations, and then we look up at Yahuáh and say, why am I here? Bro, no one told you to go snort that line of cocaine. No one told you to go pick up that hooker. Well.
Shalom, yo.
Where have you been, Yoshi? Where have you been, Nehemiah?
2 weeks without recording. That's vacation for y'all.
We've been around. We're back. Did we post? Do we have enough to post one, or do we didn't get a post last week, right?
We didn't post last week, yeah.
Okay, so we're off. Yeah. So, listen, guys. There's been a little bit of changes around here. New settings.
Life happens.
But we missed a week. No biggie. Happens from time to time. But everything is great. As you can see, I got a new background. I updated the background a little bit.
Yep.
So that's exciting. Moved. Got married. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's very exciting. That's why I was away, taking care of business. You know what I mean? But we appreciate you guys for coming by, for saying hi. Episode 18, almost to the 20s.
Almost
to the 20s. 2 left. It is currently Sunday.
Coffee time.
In the morning, we got our coffee. And what are we going to be doing today? The same thing we always do, man. Read the word, dig into the word.
Indeed.
And see what kind of nuggets.
Get some nuggets as we get nuggets and we share those nuggets. A lot of nuggets going around.
Also, part of the reason we've been gone for a bit is Yoshi and I have decided to further expand our horizons. Okay. We have, we went to university. Yoshiyahu became a addiction counselor.
Yeah.
Now you might be wondering, how did he do all that in like 2 weeks? Dude, he's built different, man. I don't know what to tell you. Me, myself, I became a connoisseur. I'm an expert now. I can tell you anything you need to know about love apples, flavor profiles, texture, color,
biology,
leaf patterns. Everything. You think about it, I know it. So if you have any questions, go ahead and send that to aservantspath@gmail.com. I can help you with your love apple questions. If you're addicted to love apples as I am, Yoshiyahu can help you overcome that.
This is why I became a counselor, because we were supposed to complement each other. And I knew if this man went too crazy on that rabbit hole, I wouldn't be able to retrieve him. So I got my education so I could dig in the addiction and how it starts.
Yeah. All right. Guys, listen, today we're into Genesis 45 through 48.
Almost to the end of the Genesis book.
Almost to the end. So we're excited. We hope you're excited. So grab your coffee, grab your scriptures,
and join us.
And let's pop that book open, man. It's Genesis 45. Come on. Excuse me. I took a dose of love apples. I'm a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And let's do it. I'm excited. I was missing this, man. I was like, in the back of my mind, I was always like, I want to record. I want to get another episode. So this is exciting. I'm glad that we're back. We'll be better than ever. And now, things Still a little crazy, still a little chaotic, but they're starting to, they're coming in for a landing. It's starting to coast. And once we get there, we're going to really start, investing in this channel. We're going to start doing a whole bunch of stuff. And I have a ton of ideas. Yoshi has a ton of ideas. And there's a lot we're going to do. So life's been a little crazy the past few months. So that's why it's been a little hard. That's why we've been recording at different times and this and that. But things are starting to level back out. And we hope you guys enjoy, because we're going to start having real soon some real cool stuff that I've been thinking about. I'm sure Yoshi's been thinking about, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be real fun.
Nice. So let's crack that sucker open. Genesis 45, and that's on me because I got them odds.
All right, but Yoshi, what Bible do I read? I keep seeing there's KJVs, NIV, BBLs. There's all kinds of versions of the Bible out there, and I don't know which one to read.
Man, that was a great question until 2002.
2002.
But now we have something that's called RSTNE.com, which stands for Restoration Scriptures True Name Edition. And why they are so important and different from everything else? Because we dive deep into the original language as much as we can, because modern Hebrew is not the same as the ancient Hebrew, two completely different things. But we try to get as close as possible to the original texts with the Aramaic Peshitta, with the Hebrew manuscripts, of course, the Masoretic text, but that's what we have. The text receptors in Greek, then we have the Latin Vulgate. We have a lot of sources, the Shomerite, the Samaritan Pentateuch. So that's what separates the RSTNE from everything else. This desire to bring the closest version possible to the originals, despite the fact that we don't have access to the originals, but we still have some manuscripts out there to be seen. And those other versions, they don't strive to achieve perfection when it comes to updating the text. And, but don't add or subtract the scriptures. Okay, yes, we understand that part. But we are called to restore all things, according to Acts 3:21. So the Restoration Scriptures team, of which I happen to be part of, we try our best to do the best we can. And Yahuáh has been blessing this work with Sholiach, Mora Mariamni, and Rebbetzin Rivka and their work for years. And now we have a almost pristine version that is alive. Yahuáh drops a new revelation. Sholiach runs to do the changes because it's important. If your scriptures are stale and have been the same from the medieval period, that's something wrong with it, because Yahuáh didn't stop speaking in the medieval period.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the reason why we use the RSTNE.com.
And that's crazy too, because you have to think, it's you think the understanding that was had in the year 1000 is the best understanding compared to what we have today, after more study, after more minds have put in the work to figure out what the word says? No. And not to say that, if you have a KJV, that there's nothing in there that's worth a value. The core principles hold true, but I think what matters is the thing that's in between, that can, you read a KJV and you read the RSTNE, it's two different narratives. The Messiah is there, right? And the understanding that he came and died for our sins, and that through him we get to the Father is the only way. That basic core narrative is in both scriptures. But to fully understand what that means and what that means for you, those two narratives are different. Because the translations, the people who were translating them had a narrative that, whether intentional or not, that they were putting into the scriptures as they're translating. And doesn't mean that whoever wrote the RSTNE is a perfect individual and there's nothing that could ever need to be corrected or restored. Quite the opposite. That's why it's always being corrected and restored. Yep. But you're going to see, when you read the RSTNE, you just see the differences. You see, first of all, the true names. So right off the bat, we're identifying who the Messiah is and who the Father is accurately. Who are they? Is it just God? Is it just Jesus? No. God, what God? There's a million gods, thousands of gods.
Thousands of them.
What God are we talking about? Okay. A specific one. Yahuáh. The achim of Yisra'el, right?
Yep.
The forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Specific. He has a name. He's there's a way to identify him and not give him some blanket title. Then we have the Messiah, Yahusha. Okay. So that off that alone, and then we have the restoration of the two houses, of who you are as an individual in Messiah and what responsibility you have. And all those things, when you have a clearer, a much better translation, those things become easier to understand because they're not obscured and they're not buried so deep by, the efforts of the enemy. So we'll show you real quick because this is important, guys.
Yep. And also one thing that I wanted to say to complement Proverbs 25 verse 2, it says that it is the glory of Yahuáh or of Elohim to conceal a matter, but the glory of kings is to search it out. So what this verse is saying is basically it is our joy and our glory to dig stuff out from the book, because the book has not stopped speaking. Yahuáh is not dead. He's not tired of working. He didn't retire from, writing stuff. He keeps dropping revelation generation through generation, because if one generation alone would solve every mystery, we wouldn't need the scriptures anymore. But, here we are, and the scriptures are still alive speaking to us. So stale revelation is not enough. We need the word of Yahuáh in its true form that is alive.
And just like it says in Luke 8, there's nothing hidden that won't be revealed.
Yep.
And it is easier to reveal those things when you get to a clear translation and with time. And we see that now, right now. If any of you are keeping up with Sholiak's teachings currently, it just goes to show you how having a better translation where one word can make a difference.
Yep.
One word can make an entire difference. And if you are keeping up with the teachings now, you'll see how this all makes sense. So I just want to show you real quick the RSTNE website. Pop that sucker right up here. Boom. This is the RSTNE.
Look at them covers, man.
Beautiful. I think someone really talented designed these.
Yeah, I know the guy.
You do?
Yeah.
Is he an addiction counselor?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's my evil twin.
A man of many talents.
He's my evil twin.
Oh my gosh, $100 for a book. What are you guys, scam artists? Well, first of all, I didn't put the price, so don't get mad at us. But guys, look, I don't know about you guys. I want you guys to go try to print a book. Print a book of this, like, I don't have one with me. It's in the room.
I have one here.
Show them the book. Okay, I want you to
go.
go.
The 7th edition.
That's the 7th edition. Okay, go try to print that book with all the character counts, with the quality of paper, the quality of the cover. And you got to think, guys, okay, this isn't like we at Barnes and Nobles and we can buy like 1 million copies and then we get a discount. Okay. Sholiak prints these, in batches, in small batches. So you get charged more. So it's not like Sholiak's becoming a millionaire off of this. But they're a little pricey, but it's an investment, guys. It's an investment into your discipleship. That's how you got to look at it. And guess what? If you're going to be a crybaby about it, let's keep scrolling. Oh my gosh, it's free.
It's free.
Oh my gosh, it's free online. It's free online. Look at this right here.
For everybody to read.
Everybody can read this for free. So you really can't say nothing about the price because it's not even like you have to buy it because it's free, ladies and gentlemen. Free right here. You can get all. Not only do you get Genesis through Revelation, oh my gosh, you get the apocryphal books free as well. Oh my god. And you still have and you have another bonus section.
Stop them excuses because you ain't got none no more.
Hey man. Hey, and if you're trying to get if you've been having some of them love apples, you know what I mean? Right here, baby. Get this book for you right here. The Rebirth of Israelite Marriage. If you've been eating a lot of them love apples, that's a good book for you. And you guys, Yeah, and you got some other books down here that show the XLs too, if you're ever interested in it. But man, we recommend this either way. Ladies and gentlemen, let's stop this lollygagging. Let's get to why we're really here for the word of Yahuáh.
Amen.
And we in Genesis 45. Yoshi's going to start.
It's on
Let's
me.
see. Let's see what Yahuwah has in store for us today.
Can you zoom in a little bit? Because my
Oh, my
eyes
bad,
ain't
my bad.
ain't
That's
eyeing no more.
that's on me, man. Forgive me.
My eyes are not eyeing today.
Let's get it.
So then Yahusef could not restrain himself before all them that stood by him, and he cried. So context: he was pulling pranks on his brothers when they went to Egypt to buy bread, and he was like, "Oh, I know them suckers. They're my brothers." But he was very emotional, so he had retired himself from the place to cry, so they wouldn't see that it was him.
And
So,
mind you,
go ahead.
these pranks are like little league pranks compared to what his brothers are trying to do to him. His brothers are trying to selling him into slavery and basically killing him.
Yep.
You know. So I mean, like
They deserve. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean.
So Genesis 45:1. Then Yahusef could not restrain himself before all of them that stood by him, and he cried, "Make every man to go out from me." And he stood, and there stood no man with him, while Yahusef made himself known to his brothers, and he wept aloud. And the Egyptians in the house of Pharaoh heard. And Yahusef said to his brothers, "I am Yahusef. Does my father still live?" And his brothers could not answer him. They were flabbergasted.
This
So
is
they were
like
trembling in his presence.
This was like the Star Wars moment when Darth Vader says, "Luke, I am your father."
4. And Yahusef said to his brothers, "Come near to me, please." And they came near. And he said, "I am Yahusef, your brother, whom you sold into Mitzrayim. Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves that you sold me here. For Elohim did send me before you to preserve life." And that is a direct example of Romans 8:28, that all things work together for the good, for the tov of those that are called according to Yahuwah's purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this I said this to a few people before, and to myself several times. It is not because you are going through some hardships that Yahuwah is not looking upon you. Maybe the hardship is what is he doing to perfect you, or to bring you to the next part. Sometimes you need to go through a strainer to leave a lot of stuff behind, or sometimes you need to go to a place, a facility, spiritually or physically, so he can put some add-ons to you. Because this walk requires a few characteristics from everybody, and everybody has a different calling. So all situations are different, but it is not because it is a negative or painful situation now that is not going to be turned out into something good afterwards, because Yahuwah's ways are different than ours. Isaiah 55.
And Yahuwah is a consuming fire, guys, and it just feeds into what Yoshi's saying. Sometimes you got to step in the fire to purify, to melt away all that dead, or burn up that dead wood that's on you, right? And that's, if you're stepping into fire, it's hot, it's uncomfortable, it's not fun. But guys, at the end of the day, sometimes bad things are just going to happen because it's a part of life. This isn't heaven. You're not in the New Jerusalem yet. You're on earth. You're here. And yes, sometimes you go through hardships and trials because Yahuwah is using those to shape you, to mold you, to burn away the dead wood. But you're still a human being, man. You're still going to have to go through hardships just for the sake of being on this planet and this corrupt and being in this fallen state. So that just comes with the package of being alive in this world. So it could be either or, but just realize you're not in heaven yet. You're not with the Father in his many mansions. You're here on earth with the rest of us.
And if you think about it, oh, but it's just not being saved, and I'm cool. Okay, but even agnostics, even atheists, they go through a lot of stuff because life happens. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I'm not sure what is, but we are here. And here in this mortal coil, in this earth, we go through stuff. And that happens sometimes. Last week, I was battling some psychological stuff. some mental stuff, and I had to take a knee. I had to not do what I was supposed to do, but here I am. I'm alive because Yahuwah made it so. So things happen. The key is, don't be blaming Satan for a lot of stuff that Yahuwah is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he is making you go through that messed up situation that you are right now. But relax. Cry may last for a night, but joy comes in the morning. As long as you endure, there is a big chance of this being just a part of the path. Don't give up.
And it goes both ways, guys. Look, sometimes things happen, and I'm a believer that not everything is Satan's fault.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we put ourselves in terrible situations, and then we look up at Yahuwah and say, why am I here? Bro, no one told you to go snort that line of cocaine. No one told you to go pick up that hooker. You know what I mean? No one told you to do these things. You did it yourself. And I feel like oftentimes Satan doesn't have to do anything to us. He just has to sit back and just watch. Because I think oftentimes as humans, we are really good at screwing ourselves over. And we're really good at staying on a destructive path. And Satan doesn't even have to do anything in our lives. He just watches and enjoys and laughs and rivals and the trauma that we ourselves are causing because of our own decisions.
And according to the book of Job, Satan can't do nothing if Yahuwah doesn't allow him to.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd be ascribing a lot of greatness to Satan, but in reality, he ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, we no one made you stay under your mom's basement eating Cheetos all day, not getting a job, and then you can't be mad at 30. You got no wife, you got no job, you're still in your mom's basement, and be like, Satan did this to me. No, dude, you did that to you, bro. Satan didn't do nothing. He just enjoyed the show.
So, verse 5 again. Now, therefore, be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves that you sold me here. For Elohim did send me before you to preserve chayam, life. For these 2 years have the famine been in the land, and yet there are still 5 more years, in which there shall be neither plowing nor harvest. And Elohim sent me before you to preserve for you a remnant in the earth and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So again, can you guys see the picture of Messiah in Yahusef? It's very clear. Yahuwah sent me here, Elohim sent me here before you to preserve for you a remnant in the earth and to save your lives by a great deliverance. That's precisely the gospel explained in one verse.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I spoke a few episodes before that Yahusef can be seen in a hint level of interpretation, because the Hebraic thought is that scriptures have at least 4 levels of interpretation, hint being the second one. So if you go down to the hint level, the life of Joseph, of Yahusef, is a picture of what Messiah would come to perform. And I don't know precisely why Yahuwah does this type of things. I believe is, to show markers to his diligent followers that, what he was about to do in the past and what he has done for us in the future. But you can clearly see the gospel and everything that entails in the life of Yahusef, son of Yisra'el.
Amen.
Verse 8. So now it was not you that sent me here, but Elohim, and he has made me a father to Pharaoh and master of all his Bait house and a ruler throughout all the land of Mitzrayim.
And also, I think it's really pointing to point out in verse 8. It's like the saying, it's like what the enemy intended for evil, Yahuwah used for good, right? Yep. Because his brothers, whether they were encouraged by Satan out of their own evilness of their own hearts, what they try to do to his brother, what does Yahuwah do to Yosef? Makes him a father of Pharaoh. And Pharaoh, that's the big dog, man, in Egypt. That's the big dog. That's the head honcho. He makes him a father and of all his house and a ruler throughout the land of Egypt. So what the enemy tries to do to you, Yahuwah can turn that around and make you, what does he say? We are the head, but not the tail.
Yep.
So it just goes to show with Yahuwah, you never, as we were speaking earlier, like all things, you never know why you're going through what you're going through. It may just be because it is what it is, or Yahuwah has a plan. And you may be the father of Pharaoh. Who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows?
Yeah. And maybe part of his plan is to make you a dumbass before making you a smart cookie. So it takes a process sometimes.
You never know.
So verse 8 again. So now it was not you that sent me here, but Elohim, and he has made me a father to Pharaoh and master of all his house and a ruler throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. Hurry and go up to my father and say to him, this says your son Yahusef, Elohim has made me master of all Mitzrayim. Come down to me, do not delay. And you shall dwell in the land of Goshen, and you shall be near to me, you and your children and your children's children and your flocks and your herds and all that you have. And there will I nourish you, for there are still 5 years of famine, lest you and your household and all that you have come to poverty. And look, your eyes see in the eyes of my brother Benjamin that it is my mouth that speaks to you. And you shall tell my father all of my tifarat, all my glory, my beauty in Mitzrayim, and of all that you have seen. And you shall hurry and bring my father down here. And he fell upon his brother Benjamin's neck and wept. And Benjamin wept upon his neck. Moreover, he kissed all his brothers and wept upon them. After that, his brothers talked with him. And the report was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Yahusef's brothers have come. And it pleased Pharaoh well and his servants. And Pharaoh said to Yahusef, say to your brothers, this do, load your beasts and go into the land of Canaan, and take your father and your households, and come to me, and I will give you the good, the tov of the land, and you shall eat the fat of the land. Now you are commanded, this do, take wagons out of the land of Mitzrayim for your little ones and for your wives, and bring your father and come. Also, do not worry about your items, for the tov of all the land of Mitzrayim is now yours. So after that shit show, that hell that Yahusef went through, he was able to save a bunch of people at the end of the cycle. He was able to see his father again, and not only that, but to bring every good thing of Egypt to them based on his suffering. After he completed that cycle with Yahuáh, and he never wavered, he never looked toward the left or towards the right. He was just facing his issues head on, according to the registers and the recordings that we have here. He was able to be a blessing to everybody. So I believe that his life summarizes not only Mashiach's work, but also how we are supposed to behave. And also it is written in the book of Romans that once we are patient with trials and tribulations, that breeds hope. And that hope brings courage, that breeds boldness. So we are supposed and expected to suffer, not because Yahuwah is mean, but because he needs to harden us.
Mm-hmm.
And if we do not have to go through anything, what do we need him for? Faith is activated in difficulty. Because what does faith mean? It basically means to trust. To trust that even if I don't have food for this week, Yahuwah will provide. To trust that even if my bones hurt down to the teeth, Yahuwah is with me. And this skin is just my Mecca. It's just my robot that I'm piloting through life right now. But there's a bigger thing separated from me as long as I accept the guaranteed promise of the blood of Messiah. So I'm pointing this out. I don't know why. Maybe somebody needs to hear that. But trials and tribulations are part of the life of the believer. And if you don't trust me, go to Psalm 39 and read it. Many are the tribulations in the life of the righteous person, but Yahuwah delivers us from all of them. So if he delivers us from them, we are expected to go through them, because that makes us believers. If we don't go through nothing, we need Yahuwah for what? Everything is good.
Amen.
So 20 again. Also, do not worry about your items, for the tov, the good of all the land of Mitzrayim, is now yours. And the children of Yisra'el did so. And Yahusef gave them wagons, according to the commandment of Pharaoh, and gave them provision for the darach, the way. To all of them he gave each man changes of clothing. But to Benjamin he gave 300 pieces of silver and 5 changes of clothing. And to his father he sent the following: 10 donkeys loaded with the 12 things of Mitzrayim, and 10 female donkeys loaded with grain and lacham, bread, and food for his father by the way. So he sent his brothers away, and they departed. And he said to them, see that you don't quarrel on the way. And they went up out of Mitzrayim, of Egypt, and came into the land of Canaan to Yaakov, their father. and told him, saying, Yahusef is still alive, and he's a governor over all the land of Mitzrayim. And Yaakov's love, his heart fainted, for he believed them not. And they told him all the words of Yahusef that he had said to them. And when he saw the wagons that Yahusef had sent to carry him, the Ruach, the spirit of Yaakov, their Abba, revived. And Yisra'el said, it is enough. Yahusef, my son, is still alive. I will go and see him before I die.
But that's crazy. You go 20, 30, 40, however long this was. You think your son's dead, and then you find out he's alive, and not only is he alive, but he's basically like running the show in Egypt, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
He's like the apex predator of the most powerful nation in the world.
Crazy. All right. 46. Okay. Yisra'el took his journey with all that he had and came to Beersheba, and offered sacrifices to the Elohim of his Abba, Yitzhak. And Elohim spoke to Yisra'el in the visions of the night and said, Yaakov, Yaakov. And he said, Haneni. And he said, I am Yahuáh, Al of your Abba. Fear not to go down into Mitzrayim, for I will there make of you a great nation, a goy gadol in the Hebrew. I will go down with you into Mitzrayim, and I will also surely bring you up again. And Yosef shall put his hand upon your eyes. And Yaakov arose from Beersheba. And the sons of Yisra'el carried Yaakov their Abba and the little ones and their wives in the wagons that Pharaoh had sent to carry him. And they took their cattle and all their items which they had gotten in the land of Canaan, and came into Mitzrayim, to Egypt, Yaakov and all of his seed with him, his sons and his sons' sons with him, his daughters and his sons' daughters, and all his seed he brought with him into Mitzrayim. And these are the names of the children of Yisra'el, who came into Mitzrayim: Yaakov and his sons, Reuven, Yaakov's firstborn, Bachor, the sons of Reuven, Chanok, Phalu, Hatzron, and Carmi, and the sons of Shimon, Yamual, and Yamin, and Ochad, and Yachin, and Sor, and Shaul, the son of the Canaanitish woman, and the sons of Lawi, Garshan, Kachath, and Merai, and the sons of Yehuda, Onan, Shalach, and Paratz, and Zarak. But and Onan died in the land of Canaan. If you recall, those were the ones that essentially, one got married, he died, so the wife went to the brother. He didn't want to, he just didn't eat the love apples. He wasn't ready, when the time came to consummate, and Yahuáh got mad at him,
Big man.
And killed him. Should have just ate the love apples, man. But and Onan died in the 12. But and Onan died in the land of Canaan. And the sons of Paratz were Hatzron and Hamul. And the sons of Issachar, Tola, Fuva, and Eov, and Shimron. And the sons of Zavulun, Sarad, and Alon, and Yala'al. These are the sons of Leah, which she bore to Yaakov in Padan Aram, with his daughters Dinah. All the beings of his sons and his daughters were 33. And the sons of Gad, Ziphion, and Haggai, Shuni, and Azvon, Ari, and Arodi, and Aralai. And the sons of Ashar, Yimna, and Ishua, and Isui, and Bariah, and Sarah, their sisters, and the sons of Bariah, Havar, and Malchial. These are the sons of Zilpah, whom Lavan gave to Leah, his daughter, and these she bore to Yaakov, even 16 beings. That's a lot.
A lot of people.
Feel bad for her in one way. Sounds painful. The sons of Rachel, Yaakov's Isha, Yosef, and Benjamin. And to Yosef in the land of Mitzrayim were born Menashsheh, Ephraim, who Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, Kohan of On, bore to him. And the sons of Benjamin were Bala, Bachar, and Ashval, Gara, Naaman, Achi, and Rosh, Mupim, and Hupim, and Those are funny names. 22. These are the sons of Rachel, who were born to Yaakov. All the beings were 14. And the sons of Dan, Hushim, and the sons of Naphtali, Yazal, and Guni, and Yazar, and Shilam. These are the sons of Bilhah, who Laban gave to Rachel his daughter, and she bore these to Yaakov. All beings were 7. All the beings that came with Yaakov into Mitzrayim, who came out of his loins, beside Yaakov's sons' wives, all the beings were 66. And the sons of Yosef, who were born to him in Mitzrayim, were 2 beings. All the beings of Bait Yaakov, who came into Mitzrayim, were 75.
A lot of people.
A lot of people. And he sent Yehudah before him to Yosef, to direct his face to Goshen. And they came into the land of Goshen. And Yosef made already his Merkavah, his chariots, and went up to meet Yisra'el, his Abba, in Goshen, and presented himself before him. And he fell on his neck and wept on his neck a long while. And Yisra'el said to Yosef, now let me die, since I have seen your face, because you are still alive. And Yosef said to his brothers and to his Abba's house, I will go up and show Pharaoh and say to him, my brothers and my Abba's house, who were in the land of Canaan, have come to me. And the men are shepherds, for their trade has been to feed cattle. And they have brought their flocks and their herds and all that they have. And it shall come to pass, when Pharaoh shall call you and shall say, what is your occupation? That you shall say, your servant's trade has been with cattle from our youth, even until now, both we and also our avot, our fathers, that you may dwell in the land of Goshen, for every shepherd is an abomination to the Mitzrayim. Were they vegan or something? They didn't like eating meat? Like, what's going on?
I think they were, they didn't find one god that they didn't like. So probably cattle were gods to them. Because we have that, the golden calf was a Egyptian god. If I'm not mistaken, his name was Mithra. So probably they didn't like this idea of, somebody over their gods. I don't know. They're crazy. They like being bald for some
They
reason.
were pretty weird, yeah. They put eyeliner on.
I mean,
Gay. All right, anyways.
hurts. All type of weird stuff. Okay.
47.
Then Yahusef came and told Pharaoh and said, my father and my brothers and their flocks and their herds and all that they have came out of the land of Canaan, and see, they are in the land of Goshen. And he took some of his 5 men and presented them to Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said to his brothers, what is your occupation? And they said to Pharaoh, your servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers. Then they said moreover to Pharaoh, to sojourn in the land we have come, for your avadim, your servants, have no pasture for their flocks, for the famine is severe in the land of Canaan. Therefore we ask you, let your servants dwell in the land of Goshen. And Pharaoh spoke to Yahusef, saying, your father and your brothers have come to you. The land of Egypt is before you. In the best of the land, make your father and your brothers to dwell. In the land of Goshen, let them dwell. And if you know any able men among them, then make them rulers over my cattle. 7. And Yahusef brought in Yaakov his father and set him before Pharaoh. And Yaakov blessed Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said to Yaakov, how old are you? And Yaakov said to Pharaoh, the days of my years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. Few and evil have the days of my years of my life been, and I have not attained to the days of the years of the lives of my avot, of my forefathers, in the days of their pilgrimage. And Yaakov blessed Pharaoh and went out from before Pharaoh. So one thing that I wanted to point out in verse 9, notice the verbiage of verse 9. This is how a Hebrew man or woman should see their lives, as but a pilgrimage. Because our goal, our focus is not here. And I know we've yapped about this before. And this, again, has nothing to do with, so I need to suffer for Jesus forever. We're not saying this. What we are saying is, we lay our eyes in the city whose builder and maker is Yahuáh, that was not pitched with man's hands. We look towards the new Yerushalayim, the new Jerusalem. We look for what comes next, what comes afterwards. So our actions, they matter now because they're going to reflect in our results later. So this is the focus. We are just on a pilgrimage here. And this pilgrimage, as I said before, has a lot of suffering, has a lot of trials and tribulations, but also Romans 8:28, once again, all things work for good, all things work together for tov, for good, for those that love Yahuwah and are called according to his purpose. So relax, but also have in your head the proper perspective of what one's life is. And as we have been understanding through these studies, these 16 parts that Shalom put together in his studies of understanding the end times better, the resurrection is instant upon passing. So this is why we are on a pilgrimage here and now. Because once we break the veil, we start the end game. We start the real thing. That is to be in the presence of Yahuwah and seeing him as he really is. In the book of, if I'm not mistaken, it was the book of Yaakov, James, that says, it is not revealed yet for us, brothers, what we are going to see. But as Messiah was, so shall we be. In other words, we are going to be like him. And this is why we are just, passing by here. That doesn't mean that we cannot have a good passage. That doesn't mean that we cannot have a good journey with a house, with a car, with friends, with family, with children. No, that's not what I'm saying. But the thing is that at the end of the day, none of these toys that we can amount in this life matter, because once the pilgrimage ends, then is the end game.
Mm-hmm.
And choose this day whom you will serve. If Baal is your God, serve him. But if Yahuwah is your Elohayim, serve him. As for me and my house, we shall serve Yahuwah. That choice needs to be made by everyone. And we cannot inherit salvation. It is a personal commitment. It is a personal relationship with Yahuwah.
Amen.
Verse 10. Yaakov blessed Pharaoh and went out from before Pharaoh. And Yahusef placed his father and his brothers and gave them a possession in the land of Mitzrayim, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramses, as Pharaoh had commanded. And Yahusef nourished his Abba and his brothers and his father's entire household with bread according to their mishpachot, their families. And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Mitzrayim and all the land of Canaan grew weak because of the famine. And Yahusef gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Mitzrayim and in the land of Canaan for the grain which they bought. And Yahusef brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when money failed in the land of Mitzrayim and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came to Yahusef and said, "Give us bread, for why should we die in your presence? For the money is gone." And Yahusef said, "Give me your cattle, and I will give you food for your cattle if the money is gone." And they brought their cattle to Yahusef. And Yahusef gave them bread in exchange for horses, and for the flocks, and for the cattle of the herds, and for the donkeys. And he fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year. When that year ended, they came to him the second year and said to him, "We will not hide it from my master, how that our money is spent. My master also has our herds of cattle. There is nothing left in the sight of my master but our bodies and our lands. Why shall we die before your eyes, both our land and us? Buy us and our land for bread, and we will be servants to Pharaoh, and give us seed, that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate." And Yahusef bought all the land of Mitzrayim for Pharaoh. For the Mitzrayim, the Egyptians, sowed every man his field because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh's. And as for the people, he removed them to the cities, from one end to the borders of Egypt, even to the other end of it. Only the land of the Kohanim, the priests, bought him not. For the Kohanim, the priests, had a portion assigned to them by Pharaoh himself, and did eat their portion which Pharaoh gave them. That is why they did not sell their lands. Then Yahusef said to the people, "See, I have bought you this day in your land for Pharaoh. Look, he is seed for you, and you shall sow the land. And it shall come to pass in the increase that you shall give the fifth part to Pharaoh, and 4 parts shall be your own, for seed of the field and for your food, and for those of your households, and for food for your little ones." And they said, "You have saved our lives. Let us find favor in the sight of my master, and we will be Pharaoh's servants." And Yahusef made it a law over the land of Egypt to this day, that Pharaoh should have the fifth part, except the land of the priests, which did not become Pharaoh's. And Yisra'el dwelt in the land of Mitzrayim, in the country of Goshen, and they had possessions in it, and grew and multiplied exceedingly. And Yaakov lived in the land of Mitzrayim 17 years. So the full age of Yaakov was 147 years. And the time drew near that Yisra'el must die. And he called his son Yahusef and said to him, "If now I have found a favor in your sight, please put your hand under my thigh for the oath, and deal in chasad, in favor, and truth with me. please do not bury me in Mitzrayim. Do not bury me in Egypt. But I will
You know
lie.
what's crazy?
But
And here's the fulfillment of the dream. I mean, the dream has been being fulfilled throughout, but this is like the final fulfillment. His father's asking if he's found favor in his sight.
right.
You know what I'm saying? He's asking him, like, please don't bury me in Egypt. Please do this if I found favor in your sight. If so, this whole idea in the dreams that he had, where the what was it, the wheat, the chaff, whatever it was bowing to him.
The
His
chiefs.
own father, the chiefs, were bowing to him. His own father as well. And if you realize, Yisra'el was the only one who didn't have a freaking heart attack about it. All of his brothers was like, "Are you saying I'm gonna serve you? That's not fair. No, no, no." But Yisra'el was like, He just took it. He said, We shall see. We shall see what Yahuwah has in store. But this is it. You see it here. The dream came out to a T. His brothers bowed to him physically in Egypt, right?
Yep.
They were left to basically the whims of what um, Yosef wanted to do. And now we even see his father at his deathbed, asking that he hopes he has his favor, and saying, make sure you don't bury me here." So it's really cool to see the conclusion, how everything came to be, and in the end, he was the one who had the favor of Yahuwah at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Through it all.
And he didn't just have the favor, but he had favor enough to dish it out to his parent, to his father and his brothers.
Mm-hmm.
That's a crazy way to look at it, but like Yaakov was like, let me see how this pans out.
Yeah.
That's wisdom, I guess.
It's exactly what it is. He knows, hey, because his Yosef's brothers reacted in the flesh, but Yisrael reacted in the spirit. He said, hey, Yahuwah exalts who exalts. If it ends up being Yosef, it is what it is. You know what I mean? He accepts it.
Yep. Also, that reminded me of what happened to Shmuel, the prophet Samuel, when he went to Ali, the high priest of the tent of Shiloh, and he said, Yahuwah said that your house is going to be destroyed, your sons are going to be dead because Yahuwah is going to kill them, and your lineage is going to be no more. And Ali said, man, that's Yahuwah's voice. I can see that. Like, that's wisdom to recognize that even when things don't go your way, maybe Yahuwah is making things not go your way. So that's the same wisdom. He was like, yeah, man, that's that you said well. That's Yahuwah's voice.
But that just goes to show, what does Yahushua say? My sheep hear my voice.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show that Yisrael, he was a sheep of Yahushua at that time. He was a follower of Yahuwah. He knew his voice. He knew when Yahuwah was speaking. Even like you're saying with the example of Shmuel, that even when it's not necessarily in your favor, when it's not like you're the one reaping the benefits, where it's like you get the short end of the stick, you still know when it's Yahuwah speaking. You still know when it's his voice. And you're like, well, all good things must come to an end at some point, except for Yahuwah himself.
Also in the book of Job, like I just recently read the book of Job, and he was very arrogant. Job was very arrogant, but he said something very righteous, like Yahuwah gives and Yahuwah takes it back. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. Blessed be the name of Yahuwah. So that's actually wisdom to understand that this is not, everything is not about us all the time. 30. But I will lie with my avot, with my fathers, and you shall carry me out of Mitzrayim of Egypt and bury me in their burial place. And if you remember, that's HaKever HaMachpelah, the cave of Machpelah, that Abraham bought to bury Sarah. And he said, I will do as you have said. 31. And he said, swear to me. And he swore to him. And Yisra'el bowed himself upon the bed's head.
Amen. 48. And it came to pass after these things that one told Yosef, see, your Abba is sick. And he took with him his two sons, Menashsheh and Ephraim. And one told Yaakov and said, see, your son Yosef comes to you. And Yisra'el strengthened himself and sat upon the bed. And Yaakov said to Yosef, Al Shaddai appeared to me at Luz, in the land of Canaan, and blessed me. And he said to me, see, I will make you fruitful and multiply you, and I will make you into a kehilah of goyim, or a congregation of nations. Lakachal amim. and will give you this land and your seed after you for an everlasting possession. And now your 2 sons, Ephraim and Menashsheh, who were born to you in the land of Mitzrayim, of Egypt, before I came to you in Mitzrayim, are mine, as Reuven and Shimon. They shall be mine. So keep this in mind. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Keep this in mind, right? What is he saying? His 2 sons of who? Of Yosef, were strangers, because technically they weren't born under the covering of Yisra'el, because at this point they thought Yosef was dead.
And they were Egyptians. They were
Egyptian.
They were the grandsons of an Egyptian priest.
Exactly. And they were raised with Egyptian customs. They were raised in Egypt. They probably had Egyptian wives at this point. So they were full-fledged from the perspective of being in Yisrael outside. They were strangers. Even though Yosef technically has the blood of Abraham, even though they technically have the blood of Abraham, they're still strangers. They don't know the culture. They were born in a strange land, and to them, that's their land. So these guys, they have no connection to Yisrael besides bloodline, but they don't even they're probably not even as aware of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So what is happening now? This gets rid of this whole idea, this whole garbage idea that you need to be physically born in Yisrael to be an Israelite. No, you can through adoption, you can be adopted, even if, right, we fast forward to today. Okay, let's say somehow or another you have 0, because in theory, you should be able to go through your ancestry, your grandfather, your granddaddy, your grandpappy, your grandpeepaw, your grandmeemaw, and you keep going up. Eventually, you'll run into Abraham, right? But even if you came through the lineage of Cain, however you want to look at it, through Messiah, you can be adopted and grafted into Yisrael. And we see an example of this right here with Ephraim and Menashsheh. On top of that, what is Ephraim? The fullness of the nation. The majority of people in Yisrael will come through Ephraim. They are the fullness. They are the bulk, okay? Because the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Benjamin, the Lavi, that's like the minority. That's the smallest group. But the fullness, the bulk, the majority comes through Ephraim, right?
Amen.
So this whole idea that there's this bloodline, if someone's teaching you bloodline theology, someone's teaching you race theology, whatever that garbage is,
that's whack.
It's nonsense. Nonsense, 100% nonsense. Because even as far back as this time, right, and this is before Moses. This is before the 12 tribes were This is way before the 12 tribes were even separated, before they were marked, before they were numbered formally. We see that through adoption, and how we know it's solidified, because they receive a physical inheritance. They actually receive something. It's not just being said. It's not like, we're going to let you into Yisrael. No, there's proof of that, because they receive part of the inheritance. They actually receive part of that gift physically and spiritually.
2 things. One, to verify what Nehemiah is saying. Romans 8:14 and 15. For as many of us are led by the Ruach of Yahuáh, they are the children of Yahuáh. For you have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but you have received the spirit of adoption, by which we cry, Father, Father. Amen. So, and also, who is speaking here in verse 5? Yaakov himself, Yisra'el himself, he's basically saying, as my firstborn and my second son are mine, your children are now mine by adoption. So what Nehemiah was saying is completely true, 150% true, because the scriptures back it up. Also, Galatians 4:6, but I'm not going to read it right now for you, but like we have several witnesses that through Messiah, Yahushua, and his finished work, we are children of Yahuwah by adoption, because he purged us. And also, another thing, Ephraim and Menashsheh took the place of Reuven and Shimon, because Reuven laid in Yaakov's couch with Bilhah, and Shimon was the precursor or the leader in the slaughtering of the children of Hamor, the sons of Shechem, and Shechem and everybody in their land. So those 2 became the firstborn and the second in command. Menashsheh being the second in command, and Ephraim being the youngest, becoming the leader of the pack.
Mm-hmm. And which is crazy, because when you fast forward all the way to Messiah's first coming, right? When he was born of a virgin, he had in his own flesh all these things. What do you see? You go read the parable of the wedding. What happens? What is the first thing Messiah does? He brings the gospel to the Jewish people. What do? They reject him. We don't want you. We don't want your gospel. We don't want you to save us. The Pharisees are saving us. We have our own Torah. So then what does he do? He opens the wedding to anybody who will come join. Anybody. You don't have to be Jewish. You don't even have to be from the 12 tribes. You can be from freaking Germany. You can be from Siberia, wherever. As long as you accept the Messiah, you are welcome to the wedding. And those people receive the favor. Not even the Jews, because they rejected him. So he says, fine, I was going to give it to you guys first, but you don't want it. I'll give it to whoever will come, whoever will show up, whoever answers, they can have it.
And not even did they accept the invitation, but they dressed accordingly. They took upon themselves the wedding garments. That means that they adapted to Yahushua's path, to his ways, to his customs, and everything that entails. So this lineage theology, that's garbage. That's straight up unscriptural. Go ahead, verse 6.
And your issue, which you beget after them, shall be yours, and shall be called after the name of their brothers in their inheritance. And as for me, when I came from Padan, Rachel died next to me in the land of Canaan on the way, when yet there was but a little way to come to Ephrath. And I buried her there in the way of Ephrath. The same is Beth Lachem. And Yisra'el beheld Yosef's son and said, who are these? And Yosef said to his Abba, they are my sons, whom Elohim has given me in this place. And he said, please bring them to me, and I will bless them. Now the eyes of Yisra'el were dim for age, so that they could not see. And he brought them near to him, and he kissed them and embraced them. Okay, so he's not just talking. He's not just saying they're adopted for the sake of being adopted to sound nice. He's on his deathbed. He wants everybody to get along. No, he's embracing them. He's kissing them as is he is their own. Right?
Yep. And he even said, everything else you produce is yours, but these two are mine.
And Yisra'el said to Yosef, I had not thought to see your face ever again, and see, Elohim has showed me also your Zara. And it's interesting too, because this almost relates to the parable in Luke 15 of the prodigal son, right? Not to the extent that that Menashsheh and Ephraim purposely left the covering of their father, but you see this embrace as either way they return and they came back. You see this love and this embrace and this reward, right? He puts the ring on them, he clothes them, he feeds them.
And it matches perfectly, because if Yahusef's life points to Messiah, Yisra'el points to Yahuáh. So it's precisely that. Like Menashsheh and Ephraim are returning to the Father. So the 10 northern tribes return to the Father, and the Father says, "These two are mine."
It's beautiful.
You cannot sit in your Messianic Jewish butt and say, "Oh no, but the Ephraimites don't exist anymore." In your head, they don't exist anymore. If you read the scriptures, you're going to find this pattern over and over and over again. Ephraim was not lost to the Father. They were lost for us. I mean, I believe I am a Jewish person, but they were lost to us and to our forefathers, but they were never lost to Yahuáh.
11. And Yisra'el said to Yosef, I had not thought to see your face ever again, and see, Elohim has showed me also your seed. And Yosef brought them out in between his knees, and he bowed himself with their face to the earth. And Yosef took them both, Ephraim in his right hand towards Yisrael's left hand, and Menashsheh in his left hand towards Yisrael's right hand, and brought them near to him. And Yisrael stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Menashsheh's head, guiding his hand knowingly, for Menashsheh was the Bachor.
So to break this down to you, verse 13, Yahusef took them both, Ephraim towards Yisra'el left hand, because Ephraim was the youngest, and the left hand is not the preeminence. The preeminence is the right hand. So then he put Menashsheh in front of Yisra'el's right hand, because Menashsheh was the firstborn. So technically, how was this supposed to go? Right hand on the firstborn, left hand on the youngest. But Yaakov did the opposite, because he was being guided by the Ruach. He was dim of age. He was not seeing diddly squat. He was doing based on the Ruach. He was being guided by Yahuáh, because he guiding his hands knowingly, for Menashsheh was the firstborn.
Amen. And he blessed Yosef and said, Elohim, before whom my fathers Abraham and Yitzhak did have their halacha, the Elohim who fed me all my life long to this day. The Malak, the angel who redeemed me from all evil. Which is interesting. The Malak. Who's the Malak? That's the Yahusha. That's the Messiah. That's Yahusha before he came in the flesh.
Yep.
So how did they get saved? How did they get redeemed? How did they get salvation? The same way you and I get it today. Through the Malak, through the angel, through the, not just any angel, not just any representative, but the manifestation of Yahuwah, Yahusha. Just wasn't known as Yahusha at that time. 16, the Malak who redeemed me from all evil. Bless the lads and let the name of Yisra'el be named on them, and the name of my father Abraham and Yitzhak, and let them grow into a multitude like fish. Vayidagu larav, in the midst of the earth. When Yosef saw that his Abba had laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him, and he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head to Menashsheh's head. And Yosef said to his Abba, not so, my Abba, for this is the Bachor. Put your right hand upon his head. And his Abba refused and said, I know it, my son. I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than him, and his Zara shall become the fullness of the nations. Malo hagoyim.
So Menashsheh is supposed to become one powerful nation, and blessed by Yahuáh, as Ephraim too. But Ephraim is supposed to be the Malo Hagoim, or the fullness of the nations, and the Vayida Gulerov, the multitude of fish, having the concept that the world is a big ass pond. Ephraim is supposed to be the bulk of Israel, as Nehemiah was saying before. And for a curiosity for you guys, the southern kingdom of Israel was called Judah because the biggest tribe was the tribe of Judah. So they basically were known according to the biggest tribe in number. The same is true for the north part. The northern kingdom of Yisra'el was called the kingdom of Israel, or the kingdom of Ephraim, because Ephraim was the biggest tribe in number. So what is happening here is basically a prophecy of what's going to happen throughout the history of our people. Ephraim is going to be the top dog. He's going to be the head honcho in terms of population and in terms of in size. And this is why, if you consider that, but the only chosen people are the Jews. Okay, but the Jews are like 16 million. And if you count them in history, they have not been that big. How come the chosen people are only Jews, given the fact that Yahuáh, through Yaakov Yisra'el, said that the fullness, the bulk of it, is going to come by the northern biggest tribe, which is Ephraim, which is not Judah in the south. So my point here is, we spoke about the lie of the lineage theology, and now I'm speaking about the lie of this theology that the Jewish people are the only chosen people. By the way, if you are an American and you say racist, you are not, your elevator doesn't go up, because we only have one race, the human race. Everything else is ethnicities. So Jewish is not an ethnicity. Jewish is a descent. Only one of the 12. The people of Yisra'el is not summarized into Jewish people. When they were in the desert, there were, Judah was one tribe. When they were slaves in Egypt, Judah was one of the tribes. Abraham was not Jewish because Judah was his great grandson.
Mm-hmm.
So Yisra'el,
he was a Hebrew.
Yeah, he was an Aramean actually. Yisra'el breeds Yisraelites, not Jews only. So as Nehemiah said, and as Shaliach Shaul said, therefore there is no more Jew, nor Greek, nor Aramean, nor male or female, but we are all children of Yahuwah now, through Messiah and his finished work and his blood sacrifices purchased.
Amen.
Do 19 again.
19. And his Abba refused and said, I know it, my son, I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than him, and his seed shall become the fullness of the nations. Malo hagoyim. And he blessed them that day, saying, by you shall Yisra'el be blessed, saying, Elohim make you as Ephraim and as Menashsheh. Excuse me. And he set Ephraim before Menashsheh. And Yisra'el said to Yosef, see, I die, but Elohim shall be with you and bring you again into the land of your father. Moreover, I have given to you one shacham above your brothers, that I took out of the hand of the Amorite with my sword and with my bow.
One shacham means one portion. So Yisra'el gave to Yahusef. See, you're going to have 2 portions, twofold.
Amen. Wowzers. That's all I got to say. That was fun. Listen, guys, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for sticking it through. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for reading along. Hey, man, do me a favor. Can you do me a favor? Go ahead and share this video, share this channel on your social media, on your X feed, YouTube, Facebook, man. If you've been on Twitter lately, X, whatever you want to call it, it's full of a bunch of craziness. You know what I mean? So let's get some light in there. It's full of darkness. Usually social media is full of, evil,
weirdities,
murder, pornography. They got some funny memes in there, can't lie. But it's really full of a lot of heathenry. Man, let's get some light in there. Let's start shedding some light and use these social media platforms for something good. And that could be getting Messiah's message out there.
Yep, propagate.
Because if you guys are paying attention to Shaliach's teachings lately, which I hope you are, because that man's cooking. Michelin star chef right now. This world ain't going anywhere. So those of you who are hoping that the earth is going to blow up one day and this will all come to an end, it ain't looking that way, my friend. So
sorry, but not sorry.
While we're here, let's get this message out and let's get these people in front of them the message of Messiah and his grace and his salvation and his love and his redemption. So share it, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you got. Email it to people. AOL.
If you don't think you are up to par to do these on the streets or to evangelize, help people that are doing, such as me and Nehemiah. Share the stuff out. But I mean, really share. I don't care if you feel embarrassed. Oh, but they're going to see that I'm a Jesus freak. I don't care. Share it to people. We are the head of the spirit, but we need to be thrown at somebody.
Yeah.
Share it. Your shares value a lot.
Yeah. And leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, man. Come on, join the club. Join the party. And leave a comment, man. Let us know. What was your favorite verse? What was your favorite chapter? What did we say that resonated with you? So
don't come to debate. We ain't here interested in debate. You can ask questions in humility, of course, but don't come to y'all wrong. I don't care if I'm wrong. You're not the one who's going to tell me. You
guys can say that because it helps get the algorithm. It gets more eyes on it, but I'm probably not going to respond to you. You guys can debate with yourselves. Yeah. But either way, look, we love you guys. Thanks for watching. Episode 18 out. We'll see you on the next one. Shalom, shalom.
Catch you on the next. Shalom, yo.
Peace.